In this video tutorial, we're going to be discussing the website options panel. The options panel is what controls the way your website looks, as well as much of the functionality. To get to that screen, we're simply going to click on Website Options. Many of these options are self-explanatory, so we're not going to do a demo of every single one, but we're going to show some highlights of some options that may need some additional explanation. The first tab that we've got is the primary options, and we've got website width, the actual width of the content area of your website. We've got content background color and body background color. The content background color is going to be the color of the actual content area. The body background color is going to be everything else. So let's demo that real quick. We'll keep the content area as white, and we'll make the body background color blue. And as we can see, we've now got blue sidebars on our website. We can also use an image for the background of the body. The next tab, Users, is going to control a lot of the user functionality of our website. The first option that we see, Allow User Registration, we can either allow or disallow it. We can also allow users to upload their own video content or not. The next option is going to be to enable or disable the members directory. If the members directory is enabled, we can also choose to only allow logged in users to view it. This is also the same with the activity wall. We can enable or disable it, and we can also only let logged in users view it or have it viewable to the public. The next tab we have is Video Settings, and the first option is your PayPal email address. If you're going to be charging for video content, you need to supply some basic information. Vodive does not take a percentage of your sales. All sales revenue is deposited directly into your PayPal account. You will first need a free business account from PayPal, and you're going to need to supply the email address, API username, password, and signature. This is a very easy process that we're going to go through right now. You'll first log into your PayPal account. You'll come up to the profile link and click Profile Settings. You will then click on My Selling Tools, and next to API Access, you will see a link that says Update. You will then click on View API Signature. You will then see API username, password, and signature. You can click on each one of these links to see the details and supply that information in the correct fields. The next options that we have are for the countdown timer that will be found on any live streaming event page. We've got the clock background color, the clock numbers, and also the seconds, minutes, hours, and days in which we can configure settings for color, font size, and typography. Next, we have options for the header of your website. The first of which is the background color of your header. We can also use a background image. We can decide the header height. We can upload a logo for the header. Which will appear next to the title and the subtitle of your website. We can choose to hide the branding text, which is the text underneath the title. We also have full control over the font options for both the title of your website and the subtitle branding. We can choose what color we want each of these to be as well. The next tab is Navigation, and that is going to control all the options for our navigation bar. We have the color of the navigation bar, the height, the actual link color, the navigational link font options, what color the link will be when you hover over it, as well as what color the background will be of the link when you hover over it. Next, we have sidebar options. The first of which is the sidebar position. There are 3 different positions for our sidebar. By default, it will be sidebar right. We can also put the sidebar on the left-hand side of the page. Or we can have no sidebar at all and our website will be full width. Next, we can enable or disable the 3 primary modules in our sidebar: the search bar, the categories, and the subscription module, where users can subscribe to updates. We also have options to control the color of these 3 modules. Next, we have options that control the color of the background of our sidebar, the border color around our sidebar. We can actually control the color of the titles within the modules. We can control text colors within the modules. We have full control over the font options, link color, and link font options. The next tab is the homepage option. This tab is going to control all of the different options available for your homepage. The first one that we see is item background color. This is going to control the background color of each individual video page and blog post on the home page. We'll look at an example, and just for demo purposes, we're going to turn them yellow. And now, as we can see, the background is yellow. The next options, title and font, is going to allow us to control the color as well as font options for the titles and the excerpts on the home page. Next, we see custom excerpt length. With this option, we can control how many words are in each excerpt on the home page. The next option that we see is to enable or disable the recent videos module. We will enable it, and as we can see, there are a host of additional options that show up in our panel. This is an example of the recent videos module on our homepage. With the additional options, we can customize the look and feel of this module. The first of which is the background color of the module. We can also use an image background if we would like. We can decide how fast we would like it to rotate, the number of columns, the video's header text, which would be this text right here. We can control the color as well as the font options. We can control the font options and colors of the titles of each individual video page or blog post. And we can also decide to show or hide the excerpt and the author for each video page or blog post. The final option that we have is to enable or disable the blog featured content. This would be the featured content area on your homepage. If disabled, there will be no featured content. If set to enabled, you will see a number of different additional options. The first of which being the featured content background color, or we can utilize an image for the background. As we can see, is set by default. The featured content heading, which is this text right here. We can control both the color and the font options. In this box right here, we can input our featured content. We can control the color and font options for this content as well. The next tab that we have is typography. And with these options, you can control all of the different text types. You can control the color, size, and font families. We have primary text font, which would be all of the paragraphs within the bodies of your video pages and blog posts, link font options, post titles, H1, H2, and H3 tags. In the next tab, we have animations, and you can animate virtually every single part of your website. We'll show a couple of examples. Let's say we wanted to animate the header. These are all of the different types of animations that we have available, and we'll demo the rotate in, up, left. Now when we refresh the page, we can see the animation take effect. We'll do one more. Let's say we wanted to animate the featured content area of our home page. We can select one of the animations, and as we can see, it animates the featured content area. The next tab that we have is social networks. You can supply links to your different social media accounts, and they will appear with the specific icon in the header of your website, and they will be a clickable link. The next tab that we have is the footer and footer options. With these options, you can control the color of the footer and copyright text of your website. The next tab is buttons, and we have two different types of buttons on the website. We've got primary and we've got secondary. For each of these, we can control the color of the button, what color the button will be when someone hovers over it, and the text of the link inside the button. The next tab is for custom CSS code. If you know how to write CSS code, you can utilize this functionality. And finally, the last tab is to import or export your options. You would like to make a backup of all your website's options panel settings, you can export it with these three options. You can then, at any point in time, import these options above. That is going to conclude this tutorial on the website options panel. As you can see, you can customize virtually every single aspect of your website. If you have any questions, you can always scroll down to the bottom of your admin area, click the support tab, and contact us directly.